Look, I'm happy to contribute to this bill here this evening, and I commend Deputy John Curran for his work in advancing it. As we know, the bill seeks to criminalise the purchase of a controlled drug from a child and to criminalise the act of causing a child to be in possession of a controlled drug for sale or supply. It is appalling simply to think that there are people of such brutality and lack of conscience that they would seek to use a child as a conduit to sell and profit in the sale of drugs. It's a shocking thought. Where have we come to as a society when such practices are now commonplace? The value of a child's life has become degraded in this state. Thankfully, not for all, but certainly for a dangerous and criminal element who care less about a child's welfare. It's shocking. As Deputy Curran said at first stage of this bill, while it will not solve our drug problem, it will offer a small degree of protection to young people in Nadine Yoga who are in vulnerable positions, who are being targeted and whose future is being taken away from them, selfishly and needlessly. We need measures like this, but we also need far more community Gardaí, Minister. This is why I talk to you. Those who have built up and generated a relationship of trust within local communities and families, and who can steer children away from being associated with such brutal criminality. And in my own area, in Clonmel and different towns in Carrick-on-Suir and many other towns in Clare, where with community Gardaís, there's sterling work. They sit in the people's kitchens. They'll have a close listen, and those people understand and the respect that they gain from. But that's been all taken away because we're starved for resources and are starved for other numbers and taking off those jobs. As I said, in my constituency, towns like Clonmel and Carrick-on-Suir are being decimated with open drug dealing. Minister, open drug dealing. This is well known and common knowledge. And I made the passionate plea to the Commissioner, the new Commissioner, recently at a JPC meeting, and much has been said about the talking shops. That's what they are, about the lack of Gardaí. Clonmel need 30 extra Gardaí. 30, that's not short. And we think there's 200 passed out in Templemore tomorrow, last Friday week, and we didn't get not one guard. It's shocking to think that he dismissed us like that. Your Minister asked you here in the Taoiseach, he said it's his job, but it's dangerous and it's criminal not to have enough Gardaí on the streets. Do we have any Gardaí to tackle it? No, we do not in Clonmel or Carrick-on-Suir district. None. Not a single Garda was provided in the last tranche of 200. And that's shocking. OK, 10 have left the station at the district, 2 sergeants and 8 Gardaí, and that's sad. 2 have resigned completely, and that's very sad. But they haven't the resources, they haven't the tools of the trade, and they have nothing else. It was a reckless and dangerous decision by the Commissioner. If you want to pass responsibility to the Commissioner for this, Minister, I know you will.
Just a gentle reminder, what's in the bill or what you'd like to put into the bill?
Sorry, I'm commending the bill.
Just reminding you what.
Thank you, Cormac. As I said, if we don't have the Gardaí or the tools of the trade, drug use is increasing, but the fear of being caught is decreasing. That's my point. And Deputy Curran is doing an excellent job. And he knows much more about this. I served in a Dáil here with him in 2007. He was in issues in Dublin City at that time, talking about things we didn't know what he was talking about. And now we know it. It's in every town, village, townland, and in the community, in the country. And again, we have people, and I had a meeting last Sunday night in Hotel Millennium with the proprietor John Allen and Michael O'Loughlin and Peter Murchin and a number of public reps, small meeting, to see what can we do to stop the prolific use of drugs by people in collars and ties, and suits like myself, people in good jobs and everything else, and recreation they call it. The devastation that it's causing, and the torture and the torment is putting on families. I have at least 10 in Tipperary, South Tipperary, in the last 18 months that have died because they were small drug deaths. Small. And they went abroad and their families were terrorised, and they came back and they were terrorised and they took their own life. And then we don't have a mental health bed in Tipperary. The issues are staggering, and if we don't deal with it, and it's unbelievable the amount of cocaine and other drugs that are being used nightly in the pubs and the clubs, and our schools are doing their best. But look, the whole thing is epidemic proportion, and if not, something's not done, this is a Tosakma, it's a good start, because they'll be using these kids as mules. And they're using them, and that's well known. And they're small kids of 7 and 8 years of age going around dropping and delivering. It's shocking. Pure shocking. The whole town of Clonmel and Carrick-on-Suir know who's doing it, know the people. They pass it on to the Gardaí, they haven't the resources to do it. We have 6 Gardaí in the whole drug squad for the whole county of Tipperary, 120 miles long. There used to be 15 or 20 in it, and they did a great job. 6 can't do anything. They're just powerless, and they can't do it. And we have protected communities. We see what's going on in Drogheda. We see what's going on in Mullingar. We see what's going on in Dublin and the huge Garda resources that come into Gardaí for the brave work to do. But they're being threatened and intimidated. And we see what's going on in my county in Tipperary. And if it's not dealt with, I've said this to you before, if it's not dealt with very soon, we're going to be out of control completely. And we have these gangs who are terrorising people, and they're operating with impunity because we don't have the resources to deal with them and put them away. And this is an effort in legislation by Deputy Curran to deal with that. And it's a sad state of affairs that the schools, every place else, they're just being destroyed because of this, and our future generations. And I have grandchildren, thankfully, and so many other people here, and you too, Prime Minister. We don't want this. We don't need this. We need to sit up and listen to what's happening. We're being flooded with them, and there are gangs in Clonmel, and they're terrorising the people. Terrorising the people, and there's not a day in my office a parent or grandparent come in and talk about what's going on, what happened to their Jimmy or their Mary or their Tommy, and the threats into their families when they're deceased at their own hands because of the pressure, and then it passes on to the parents and the grandparents. And unfortunately, many of these gangs have a protected status that was bestowed on this house here a couple of years ago, and it's a farce, and nothing but a shot of a farce, and an ethnic group, and they can do what they like, to whom they like, when they like, where they like, above the law, and it's a disgrace and a farce.
Unfortunately, your time